My name is Kiara Windrider. I'm a psychotherapist. I've been practicing in California, where I received my degree in transpersonal psychology, and I've also been working in different healing centers and psychiatric institutions in an effort to bridge the spiritual with the psychological insights into human nature and consciousness. I'm also the author of 3 books which have to do with the process of personal and planetary transformation. Ilahinoor means in Turkish and also Arabic, divine light. It's a universal expression of divine light. So, in different traditions, there's different names for divine light, and this is one of them. So it's not like this is the only expression of divine light. It's simply that this is one quality of divine light that is being expressed now in order to raise our consciousness, in order to bridge the superconscious and the subconscious minds, in order to embody the new vibration from the galactic center that we are now experiencing. It can be used for physical healing, it can be used for a clearing of deep emotions, karmic patterns, and it can also be used for the process that some know as ascension, which is the alignment or the merging of the physical body with the light body. Well, actually what it is about is an alignment of the higher consciousness, what we can call the superconscious mind, with the lower consciousness, which we might call the subconscious mind. So there's a part in the back of the head, part of the limbic system, that is triggered through this Ilahinoor process. And what happens then is that the old brain, the reptilian brain as some call it, which is where we hold all our fears and imprints of the past, is brought into alignment with the new brain and with the chakra system, with the higher consciousness emanating from the divine source, and there's a bridge between the two. And when this happens, it allows for a complete rewiring of the physical, emotional, and spiritual bodies. So the process of Ilahinoor is simply aligning with the divine light, bringing it into the physical, emotional bodies, and then letting the intelligence of the body do whatever is needed to create changes. Physical, cellular changes, DNA changes, changes within the emotional body, the clearing of the past, and then opening to the energies of enlightenment. Enlightenment is simply the ability to let go of what is holding us back from fully being in the present moment. In the old days, there was a whole process of initiation that people would have to go through to prepare for this light. So they went through a series of initiations culminating in the Great Pyramid. And if they passed all these initiations, finally the body was prepared and ready to release the fears, the imprints held in the cells of the body, to be able to receive the light and to move into a higher state of consciousness. The qualities of divine light have been expressed in the Egyptian mythology and religious rites through what they referred to as nethers, which are divine qualities. There's 22 of these nethers, which are aspects of personality. Just like in astrology you have the different planets representing different qualities or different aspects of personality, so in this system you have 22 nethers, which are the vibrational aspects of divinity. So with Ilahinoor, what's happening is that these nethers are activated, and whichever qualities of divine light need to come through at any given time for any given person can be activated. There's a interface between divine intelligence and human intelligence that begins to be initiated as we call on this energy of Ilahinoor. So there's like a divine transmission of this light. It moves through the chakra system, it moves through the areas of the brain that are connected with the axis, the bridge between the superconscious and the subconscious. And then a conscious mind can create with our intention, because then we're aligned with all the aspects of who we are. Usually what happens is that when we are trying to create something or manifest something, we are manifesting from a conscious self. We're not really connected with the superconscious aspects, and the subconscious aspects are often resisting what we are trying to create. So in this case, when there's a bridging between these three aspects of ourself, manifestation can happen effortlessly, whether it's on a physical level, whether it's on a spiritual level, whether it's on the level of clearing the past through the emotional body, or whether it's on the level of manifesting things in the outer physical world. So Ilahinoor is simply a means of connecting with this divine flow, of being in the present moment, of bringing all these divine energies, the nethers, through ourselves, and simply being a vehicle for divine consciousness to move through. So it's a letting go of the personal ego so that the divine self can come through. So in that sense, it's also a prelude to what the enlightened state is about. It's not something that can create enlightenment, but it can let go of the barriers that we present through our conscious and ego self, so that the divine can simply flow through us, so that we are not connected simply with this body-mind organism, but with the wholeness of life. Every 12,000 years, there's this transmission from the galactic center, which we might call the mother star, or the Mayans referred to as Hunabku. And as this transmission enters the orb of the solar system, it creates a whole series of changes, resulting in a change of consciousness. It's like a reset button for consciousness. And what happens in consequence is that our personal egos begin to dissolve, and our soul memories, our ability to connect with a divine self, begins to emerge. So every 12,000 years there's a possibility that we can enter into divine consciousness. In the Hindu calendar system, what are known as the yugas, Sri Yukteswar speaks about a 24,000 cycle, 24,000 year cycle, which is twice 12,000. So in these 24,000 years, we go through all four yugas, beginning with an age of light, slowly dissipating into an age of darkness as we move further and further away from the emanations of the galactic superwave, further and further away from this massive influx of divine light. And then we return to that. So every 12,000 years there's a crossing over from the age of darkness, what we call the Kali Yuga, to an age of light. And it can be a very dramatic, very sudden and very powerful event that then allows for this new vibration, this new species to emerge once again. My sense is that the galactic superwave that Paul Laviolette refers to is something that initiates a whole series of circumstances and events. So what happens is that this galactic superwave emanates from the center of our galaxy every 12,000 years or so, and it's composed basically of cosmic ray particles. And as these cosmic rays bombard the solar system, it creates changes within the sun, it collapses the shields around our solar system, it allows for the incursion of cosmic dust, which again changes the nature of the sun and the planets. So we can begin to see the results of some of these changes. For instance, global warming. And what happens then is that as the magnetic fields of the Earth collapse and reorient themselves in its opposite polarity, our mental, emotional structures also collapse. Our ego structures, our personality structures, anything that has to do with the world of duality can no longer exist. Because simultaneously with that, what happens is that there's an increase in the vibrational rate of matter. There's a scientist, Alexei Dmitriev from Russia, and he also refers to this change that's taking place in our solar system, referring to this heliosphere, the aura of our solar system, which is going through dramatic changes. And he says that at a certain point, when we pass a critical mass, the entire base harmonic frequency of matter within our solar system will go through a shift. So it's like an electron orbiting around the nucleus of an atom. When energy is added at a certain point the electron shifts completely from one orbit to the next orbit without a gradual change in between. So what he's referring to is a similar kind of process happening in the base harmonic frequency of all matter within our solar system, which means that as a body's vibration changes, we have the possibility of embodying aspects of a soul that can only exist when our vibrational rate is increased. Many of you may be familiar with the work of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. For me, they exemplify what this transformation is about. They were working within their own bodies on a cellular level to create the changes to transition from the old consciousness to the new consciousness. Sri Aurobindo spoke about 4 stages in this transformation of humanity. From the animal human, which has to do with a consciousness that's based on survival, to the human human, which is the first stages of connection with the soul, to the divine human, where the soul can be fully manifested and embodied within the cells of the body. This is a stage where we can completely connect with our higher self, clear out the traumas from the past that are held in the physical body, and be a clear vehicle for spirit. It's the stage that most of us are evolving towards and striving towards on a spiritual path. But this is a stage that happens collectively, not just individually, but collectively as a species. And then the final stage that Sri Aurobindo and the Mother speak about is the supramental human, and this is where this quality of the unified light, the supramental light, is brought all the way into the cellular body, so that the physical body and the light body can merge together. And what this means is that the vibrational quality of matter itself changes. This is something many scientists are also referring to. And in the process, we move from an experience of physical reality to what Sri Aurobindo referred to as supramental reality. It's actually a change in dimension. As we see around us today, we are faced with challenges that are extraordinary: political, economic, social, and spiritual challenges. This is all part of the shift. This is what Sri Aurobindo and the Mother referred to as the supramental catastrophe that precedes the supramental transformation, and it's necessary. So when we look around us in despair sometimes, it's important to look at the big picture. This is where we find our hope. Our hope is in knowing that all of this is part of the transformation. The pendulum has to shift from one side to the other, and the very roots of duality are being broken down right now.